Hello Cancer, welcome to Aquadoestarot. I'm just going to do a general energy reading for you today, just to see what's going on, if there's anything that Spirit wants to tell you about. We will find out about that. I just want to say, I was just doing a reading for Gemini, and, the entire reading was basically about gratitude. And, I'm really annoyed because I should have started cleansing the deck as I was closing down, because, the first card that dropped out was gratitude. Now, obviously, I was cleansing the cards and then I was bringing in the energy for Cancer. So I feel like it's important for this reading. So, I don't feel like it will be the overall energy, but I feel like it will have something to do with this. I'm just going to stick it there, and as we go through the reading, it may make a little bit more sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the cards out ready, and read from there. And then if we need to pull extras, we will. But I just like to get them all prepared, ready. It takes a little bit less time, and then I'm not spending most of the actual reading shuffling, because I feel like that gets annoying, especially if the cards are struggling to come out. Okay, let's tune in to Cancer. What is the overall energy, please, Spirit? You can give me 3 to 4 cards in regards to, I don't want to see it. They keep flipping them over. I don't want to see the cards. Okay. See if we can get one more, please, Spirit, for the overall energy for Cancer. Thank you very much. And an extra one. At the bottom of the deck, we've got protection. So that could be important. I'm just going to pile these over here for a moment. I'm going to now ask for cards from the tarot deck to get an idea of who you are, what your story is, what energies we're connecting with. Thank you. I don't want to see it though, Spirit. Yeah, not all of them though. We'll take that one. A little bit more information about Cancer, please. You can find out their story to help connect. One more, please. One more card, that'd be really helpful, please, Spirit. Thank you. Just going to give one more. No. Okay, so it is 3 cards. At the bottom of the deck, we've got Queen of Swords. So again, could be significant as we go through the reading. Now, this deck I'll be using for clarification cards to, help us understand if we're on the right track with the reading, because sometimes when I pull these around, I notice something different. Maybe I've missed something. So, we get 3 or more cards, please, for clarification. Please try not to show me them. Well, there's not a lot of cards coming out for the clarification. Ooh, okay. She says. Okay, I feel like they're a bit too much. I'm going to put them on the bottom of the deck, and if I feel like it's necessary, I will go through them as the reading goes on. Okay, And lastly, I just want to call in angels. So messages from the angels for the sign of Cancer, please, spirits. Thank you. Again, please try not to show me. Ooh, is there anything else for the sign of Cancer? Any more angel messages that need to come through? I'm going to take that one. Feel like it was just poking out there. Bottom of the deck, reward yourself. Okay. Well, there's some interesting energies, that's for sure. Seems quite mixed. But we will get an idea of what is going on. I don't know why I peeked at that. Why did I peek at that? I didn't want to look at it and I just peeked at it. I wonder, maybe there is someone that might have their eye on you, or you might have your eye on someone. Or a dream, like you're seeing someone in your dreams. Moon card at the bottom of the deck there. We will go into the reading and find out what Spirit wants to say. Okay. Okay, so we've got purification, freedom, activation, and renewal. I feel like there is an energy that has, we've got the card activation here. So an energy that is like activated or is activating. You've had to do a lot of healing, cleansing, maybe from like past traumas. And you're coming into a sense of renewal. That protection card was at the bottom of the deck. Like, it's something, I feel like you were very closed off, protecting yourself. I feel like gratitude is here for a reason. I feel like this path that you've been through, you purified, it gave you that sense of freedom. I'm now finally free from this energy that I've been trapped in. You've activated something new within yourself. And that is one of the things is gratitude. Okay, well, that is the overall energy. Let's have a look and see. Okay, so, oh dear. Right, we are getting to know you now with these cards. So we've got the Three of Swords, which, is not a very nice card at all. You've got the Six of Swords. And you've got the Devil, which, yeah, as I just said, there is something that you had to heal from that had you trapped. You were stuck in something. You're protecting yourself so you didn't get wounded again. But there is something toxic around you, and I feel like it's still there. I feel like, you've done a lot of work, you've done a lot of healing, but I do feel like there is something else that might be controlling you, like a dark version of yourself, or maybe you're not quite fully over it, and it's like there's an essence of like, you see a photo of this person, you get tempted again, and then you struggle to move on again. Like, I feel like you're sort of like in a yo-yo, like you're very grateful for what you have. Six of Swords as well is interesting because in the original tarot deck, they use, the card depicts being in the boat with people, but in this particular one, the owl is traveling alone. I get the feeling that you may have gone down a very, toxic path. Like, maybe it isn't that you're still, tempted by this person. Maybe it's more that from when you lost connection with this person, that you went on a toxic path, like substances, or just really low mooded, very lonely, and just, doing toxic things like hiding yourself away, not talking to your friends anymore. But yet you are still very grateful for the process, for the healing. And I feel like, what's coming through for me now is that you were actually, even though whatever the connection was or whatever hurt you, even though that was really hard and really painful to deal with, you're still very grateful for the experience and the lessons that you have learned, which is very wise. It's very, very important, that you have that ability to still love even when things get difficult. I am interested though, because I do feel like the connection could have been with some air sign. There was a lot of air, and Three of Swords, Six of Swords, bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. I felt like there was some sort of love connection with a air sign. I feel like maybe you were with somebody that was quite controlling or quite not mentally abusive. That's not the right word. Somebody who was like mentally cold towards you, and and they left. I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't think that person meant to. It may have just been literally a matter of it wasn't the right time, like, to cross paths, for both sides. I am actually curious to know, so I'm gonna go back to the owl deck, and I just want to get a little bit more information, because you've got the Queen of Swords at the bottom there. Spirit, could you help confirm whether this was a love connection, and who was this love connection, if you can give as much clarity as possible, and just sort of continue on this story so I can make a little bit more sense of it for Cancer, please. Nine of Cups. I feel like it was somebody that you really thought that you would have everything with. Like, you thought that was the destination, the star, an Aquarius. Bless you. Page of Cups there. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say, please, Spirit? You really felt like this was the one. I don't know, I feel like there's something else going on here. Renewal. Activation, renewal, purification, freedom. Devil. It's like the things I said about going down a toxic path, I still feel are very true. But I'm now getting the feeling that the actual message here is telling me that there was toxic energy within the relationship. And someone had to leave to break that. It's like a karmic connection of some sort. And, you know, they had Three of Swords. I feel like I feel like I said before that I don't think the other energy wanted that to happen that way, but it had to happen that way. They had to go alone. They had to leave by themselves to break this toxic cycle. Now, obviously, you were also heartbroken because you believed that, nothing could break the bond. This energy, the star energy, was your wish fulfillment. And when I say I feel like, if that person was to come back round, you would be tempted. I don't think it would be a bad tempted. I feel like it depends on whether the toxic energy has healed between the two of you. Like you both need to have done work in order to fix the connection, like it can't just be one or the other. And it depends on where the toxic energy was coming from. I feel like it was coming from both sides. I feel like it was just wrong timing. But again, there's no wrong timing. Yeah. No. So you want to try again. Okay, I've got that energy. You've got the Six of Cups. You want to try again. It's somebody from your past. So that is confirmation. There is somebody from your past that you are still heavily connected to. Your heart was broken, but you still think about them all the time. You've got the moon here, which, states that they are heavily in your dreams. You think about them a lot. I feel like you want to try again, or maybe even they want to try again. And when the time is right, when, that magnet that you have that is keeping you attached in some way, it will bring you closer. And to confirm this, you've got the Two of Cups at the bottom, or not at the bottom, but coming next. So the Two of Cups, to confirm that energy, that this, if the opportunity arises again, and when it does, that will be the right time. The Magician is here at the bottom of the deck. If you want to make it happen, you can make it happen. You just have to, put some effort in, manifest, work on what it is that you want. You've got the Fool card, okay? So new beginnings, take a risk. The Hanged Man. Things are different now. Things are not as they were. They're new. things are renewed. Page of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, King of Cups, Temperance, Three of Pentacles. Okay, it's, it went from being like quite a negative energy for me, but I'm glad that I carried on pulling out cards to get a little bit more clarification, because I just needed to, make sure that I wasn't saying the wrong things, because I didn't want it to be like all about negative stuff. But anyway, right, so the actual clarification deck, we've got Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups is here again. So clarification, this is a wish fulfillment. Knight of Wands at the bottom. Why do I keep saying at the bottom? At the bottom. I'm not meaning to say it, but again, I am trying to channel at the same time. Queen of Wands. That's a new energy. Queen of Wands. That's a different energy. And then we've got the Tower. And I nearly said it again at the bottom. There's something significant there about me saying at the bottom. And I really don't know why. At the bottom of what? Full moon? Under the full moon? The next full moon? Or a full moon is coming up? We've got wish fulfillment there, full moon in the background. Knight of Wands, full moon. An act of passion, an act of love. To, reignite passion with your queen. There's going to be a massive Tower moment, like, we've got the Knight there as well. So something is going to drastically change. I do feel like something has to end. There has to be some sort of chaos first. I wonder if you've got yourself into another connection, or you're committed to something else. Get a little bit more clarifying. What is wrong with my speech? Can we get a little bit more clarification, please? I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure out why I'm speaking weird and saying things. I don't know. Clara. Bottom. Clara. Oh dear. Well, I didn't need all them. Bottom again. Something below at the bottom. I feel like you're going to find something of theirs. Something in a weird place, like in the bottom of a drawer or under a bed, or something of theirs that's just lingered and you didn't get rid of it. Something of theirs, and you're gonna rediscover it for some reason, and it's gonna ignite something. I didn't really need all of these anyway. Six of Cups is here again. Judgment. The Hierophant. This is like destiny. The paths that you have been on, the heartbreak that happened, it was to basically like cleanse whatever it was that was creating the toxic energy, but you needed each other to figure out that toxic energy. You know, without each other, you wouldn't have been able to trigger off the need to heal, to purify yourselves. And I feel like, you know, you're at a point where that's now happened. I'm also getting like twin flame energy, you know. Twin flame energy. Because it's that thing, isn't it? Like, when you're together, if you aren't healed from the traumas, or you haven't broken the cycle, it won't work. It can be really tough to be in a connection. But when you begin to work on yourselves and you are able to, you know, accept who you are as yourself, and you work on your soul and the dark side of the soul, and also when you like develop acceptance for the situation, like acceptance of, oh, you know, this might not ever happen now. I'm gonna just let go. I'm just gonna let go, and I'm gonna leave it up to, you know, judgment. I'm gonna leave it up to, you know, I will let spirit and universe be the judge of that, of what's to come for me. And I feel like the moment when you start to let go, yeah, purification, freedom. When you let go, you free yourself from that energy. It's going to reactivate, and it's going to renew the connection. Anything else, please, Spirit, that you'd like to say? I'm getting a lot of cards out right now. Seven of Pentacles has come back round at the bottom of the deck. I'm not always sure what that means. Page of Cups. Knight of Swords. Mm. Mm. It's given me the energy of like, don't rush into it. Don't try and make connection. Immediately. I feel like you may have to like try and connect in a different way, not via a message. I feel like, you know, through dreams, or, you know, some sort of, if you can do telepathy, like if you can send thoughts to the person, just to give warning that you are thinking of them, to reopen their receptors to you, because of, you know, they may be kind of closed off as well. They may be at a point where they've let go. Yeah, it's like, don't take the opportunity too fast. Be the Page of Cups. Do it slowly. Maybe offer friendship. Just offer a reconnection as a friend in some way. Someone to talk to. Don't go too fast. You know, Queen of Pentacles, you know, is basically just the, you know, female energy of King of Pentacles. It's just take things steady. remain comfortable with how you are, and settle yourself. Because I do, you've got the tower coming up at some point. There's going to be a tower moment. So there's going to need a moment of calm before jumping into or trying to renew a connection. Sorry. Okay. Whew. That was a lot of information. Definitely started off fuzzy, but we got there. Okay, so the angels want to let you know they are here to tell you about being assertive. And the ocean, we have a strong connection to the ocean or water. Opportunity to forgive. So this is a moment to, as I said, you're letting go of things, you're forgiving. And blessing in disguise. There is, yeah, as I said, these situations, this disconnection had to happen in order to trigger the healing. And that is a blessing in disguise. And you'll come out of it, and, opportunity to forgive. I feel like you probably already have forgiven, because I feel like now you understand that it wasn't, directed at you. It was, something that had to be done in order to heal. And maybe again, in this lifetime, you'll be able to reconnect. It's not something that you're going to have to wait for your next lifetime. Because, this energy is pretty present, pretty now. Like, I asked for the current energies, so this is likely what is going through your mind right now, or it's coming up very soon. The assertiveness. This situation can be healed gently with love, as you've requested. Yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with the other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving you strength and guiding your words. So there's going to need to be a conversation. I feel like there's going to be quite a lot of conversations, actually. I feel like there are other people involved in this situation. So there's going to need to be some conversations, but spirit angels, they are here to guide you with that, and they will be your strength. The ocean, the deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. Opportunity to forgive. This situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. Blessing in disguise. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. Lovely. That is some, real good energy to be having around you, especially with what's going on for you right now. But I am going to leave that there. I'm getting very tired. I need to go to sleep now. If any of this resonated with you, please like and comment. I love hearing. And I will see you all again very soon.